Hello and welcome to the review for the EoFauna Palaeoloxodon. This is honestly one of my favorite models ever right now. I think it's incredibly well made and attractively designed, and so yeah, let's just get into it. Looking at the card, there's not much to it. It's got some stats. It gets 3 3/4-ish out of 5 shurikens, so you know it's pretty good, but not the best, not 5 out of 5, so who cares? Anyhow, I don't know what the cards are for. They're just kind of fun, I guess. Maybe they're gonna do a game or something. I have no clue. Talking about the model itself. My big compliment to this model is just how natural it looks. It's the type of figure that, even though of course it is a reconstruction of a prehistoric animal, it just looks like it could fit in perfectly with models of modern proboscideans. It's incredibly... It's been reconstructed incredibly believably, and it just has this lifelike quality to it that I just love. The pose is a big part of it. The way that this animal is postured, the implied movement, the way that it appears to be sort of shifting its weight and supporting itself, it's just incredible. Just this one foot kind of lifted up, the head just subtly tilting to the side with the trunk, you know, curving around and everything. Ah, gosh, I know it's not the craziest pose, it's just a really well executed walking pose, but it just looks so satisfying, and it gives the figure a really nice kind of majestic quality. It just looks like this really impressive, gentle giant sort of animal. And as well, there's some great details with the pose, like the fact that this elbow is like kind of locked out forward or almost bending backwards. That's something that actually happens with the elbows of modern elephants when they are walking, and it's really cool to see that included. That just goes to show that EoFauna puts in a lot of work and are very thoughtful and actually, you know, really know what they're doing when they're designing things. As well, the smaller details on this figure are great. The overall detail work is great. It's not the most, like, crisp detail on the planet. It's not quite to the level of the more recent Atlasaurus. But as you can see, there's lots of little wrinkles and skin folds and implied musculature. It looks great, just these bigger folds over this arm, the way the arm is bending down, all these subtle depressions and bulges for where the muscles would be. The bottom of the feet, even have that accurate elephantine sort of cracked looking texture. If you've ever seen the actual bottoms of an elephant's feet, that's kind of how they look, so that's cool. The tail looks really nice. It's just sort of subtly flicking off to one side. And yeah, all the wrinkles going down this arm are like particularly nice. They just look so good. Everything on this model looks so good. It's really, really well made. If you don't have it, you should get it. It's you know, like most EoFauna things, it's not exactly cheap, but I would say it's affordable, and for what it is, it's well worth the price. The face is possibly one of the weaker parts of the figure for me. I mean, it looks really good overall, but just some of the smaller details do stand out as like, okay, I can actually kind of complain about these things, even though this figure is still really close to perfect. This eye, unfortunately, has a little bit of bleeding. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but the orange is somewhat going onto the eyelid on the top and the bottom of the eye. Not the case on the other side, but on this side his pupil is misplaced, so he's like looking up really awkwardly and he looks kind of dazed and confused. But anyhow, the interior of the mouth is also kind of only okay. It does have those two little like teeth included, if you can sort of see them, but they're really just painted on there and they don't look amazing. But hey, the fact that they're there at all is pretty cool. The little nostrils at the end of the trunk look great. Love that. Just very bright pink color. It is kind of almost too bright of pink. Like, it doesn't look the most natural, but I think it works. I think it's fine. Who cares? It's a great figure otherwise. The ears look really great. They really captured that thin, sort of delicate skin of the outer ear of a proboscidean very, very well on this figure. Again, just looks so realistic and so believable. Even the tusks are not like just completely smooth. They have some like grooves and scarring on them and stuff, and there's even some good paint work. Like, it's mostly just gray, but you have this like subtle, warm kind of pinkish color coming in here on the trunk and a little bit on the ears that just looks amazing. So yeah, that's about it. I don't have a lot to say on this model because I don't know anything about proboscideans, extinct or extant, and I barely have any complaints. So it's mostly just me looking at a thing that I don't have any sort of working knowledge of in terms of the animal it's trying to reconstruct and represent, and I love it. So it's just me going, hey, isn't this great? Isn't this great? So there you go. For size comparisons, I'm going to bring out, as usual, the Papo-Allosaurus, and also one of my only other Proboscidean models, the old Carnegie woolly mammoth. And I'm going to be giving this one... Screw it, I'm going to be giving it a 10 out of 10. Even though there are technically some tiny, minute complaints, they're not even worth knocking a half a point off for. They're not worth it. This thing it deserves all of the points. It deserves the highest rating. Look out on my Instagram, because pretty soon I'm going to be doing a top 10 prehistoric animal models thing over there, where I count down my top 10. I won't give away where this one is, but it is on there, because I think it's one of the best. I love EoFauna in general, and this is one of my favorite models from them. I think it's great, even by their standards, and you should totally go pick it up. So I will see you all on the flip!